You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. So we're next going to be talking on the telephone to Wendy. She's from the Kent Community Foundation. Firstly, thank you very much for talking to our listeners.
I'm very pleased to be here, Daniel. Thank you very much indeed for having me.
I was hoping you could tell us first, what does the Kent Community Foundation actually do?
Well, Kent Community Foundation is a registered charity that connects people who care with causes that really matter. We help lots of local causes that provide services and support for the vulnerable and create lots of opportunities for people most in need across Kent.
What is the Surviving Winter campaign for, and who is it aimed at?
Well, can you believe in a country like the UK, there are simply thousands of people, 30,000 people who die of cold during the winter. And the Surviving Winter campaign is aimed at preventing that. And Kent Community Foundation is one of 33 community foundations that are actually working to do that. And our appeal is quite simple. It's now in its fourth year, and it's a national campaign which started with a really simple idea. Lots of people are given winter fuel payments by the government, regardless of their means. And some people felt, well, we don't really need it. But lots of others really do. So Surviving Winter is the vehicle through which our generous donors can donate their winter fuel payments to those who really need it. And it's now grown to include general donations from anybody who's really concerned about people dying of cold in the winter and struggling to stay warm and well.
So how does the campaign help, and who does it help, Wendy?
Surviving Winter raises money to be redistributed, so every penny that's donated goes back to those who really need it. And basically it means that people who, once they've paid their fuel bills, they're left with an amount that's below the official poverty line. And, you know, that's a really unfortunate position to be in. When you're trying to make a choice between heating or eating, it's just not tolerable, really. We shouldn't be putting up with this kind of thing in our country. So our campaign is really very much helping those people who just cannot afford to pay their fuel bills and have a decent standard of living, and maybe particularly ill. So what we do is we work through organisations like Age UK Sheppey, for instance, and other housing associations and voluntary groups who get together and give expert advice on keeping well and warm through the winter months, or perhaps they give classes on simple meals to cook, or provide hot meals at low or little cost, or distribute winter warmer packs containing hot water bottles or hats or scarves. But if there are special circumstances, through these associations, individuals can be recommended for hardship grants to help them pay their bills. And that's how we help. It's a combination of group activities and also help for particular individuals in need.
So if our listeners know somebody who needs help with their winter fuel bills and who is at risk, who should they tell? Well,
individuals need to apply via an organisation such as Age UK Sheppey or other voluntary community organisations in your area, who will then apply to Kent Community Foundation for a grant, and that way the money gets to the people who need it most.
So if people want to donate to the Surviving Winter appeal, how can they do this?
The Surviving Winter appeal is quite a simple thing. It's for anybody who doesn't need their winter fuel payment or who would like to help, and the way they can do that is simply by visiting the Kent Community Foundation website, which is www.kentcf.org.uk/giving, or send a cheque payable to Kent Community Foundation to Eavegate Park Barn, Ashford, TN25 6S for sugar X. And that will be so helpful for so many people who need to stay well and warm this winter.
Well, Wendy, I'd like to thank you very much for telling us all about the Surviving Winter appeal to our listeners here at BRFM.
Great, thank you very much for having me. Bye-bye, Daniel.
Bye.